It's like when y'all see that intro, y'all know what time it is. Welcome to the next edition of the TMS podcast. Your boy Hollywood Ray is back in the building with my guy, my brother Hollywood Cass. Man, there's a lot to talk about. We thank y'all for those tuning in. As you see on the ticker at the bottom, if this is your first time listening to us, we say thank you. These are all the ways that you can follow us and support the show. Make sure you do that because we have a lot of great content. Coming your way. So, Mr. Cass, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. A little disappointed in LB free agency. I figured there would be a lot more going on. But, shoot, freaking my Rockets are doing good, so I can't complain. I got Tommy Cutlets doing amazing right now.
So, we're going to get into that because that's
Daniel who? But other than that, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, no, I'm good too, man. Just Celtics and Bruins obviously are still playing well. And then once again, it's tank season, baby. So as long as New England keeps losing, even though they didn't lose this past week, we're in good position. But we're giving y'all a little swerve. Usually we start with the NFL when we do this weekly show, but today we have to start with the NBA. Man. Literally, probably maybe less than an hour ago, recording this on the Tuesday night. Literally about an hour ago, Draymond Green, gets suspended. Now, I was thinking maybe 10, 15 games, maybe 20, just to make it a bit substantial. Adam Silver says, "Nope, we're suspending you indefinitely." So, just before I share my thoughts, just what were your thoughts on that? And what was that the right play by the NBA?
I would think so, just because of what's been going on with Draymond. I mean, he's stepping on Sabonis in the playoffs. He's kicked LeBron in the jewels like way back in the day. Shoot, you put up a video. Well, it's like an NBA 2K, but a video of him of all of his accomplishments that he's done with fighting. He literally made Jordan Poole go to Washington because what's going on. So I don't know. From what I'm reading right now, he's supposed to receive counseling. He has to do that before the league can bring him back. Obviously back in the league, but he is allowed to practice with the Warriors. So that's a little weird. But right. I figured if you're suspended, you might not want to do anything with them. But I don't know. But
I guess it's to keep him in game shape, obviously, which I guess they're throwing him a bone in that regard. I thought it was warranted. There's gonna be some fans say, "Oh, well, y'all wanted '90s basketball. Here it goes." I'm like, dudes wasn't going out their way just to smack somebody, bro. And yeah, okay, Nurkic got a little physical with him. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. They're jockeying for position. In the post. What he's supposed to say? Let him establish himself, and the next thing Draymond's making a play out of the post, and then his team is looking at Nurkic like, "Yo, what's up with you?" So I don't know, man. I think to me, I'm glad that Adam Silver dropped the hammer like this. And once again, you kind of had to, right? You can't give John Morant 25 games and didn't take anyone out of it. He just waved the gun, was out here, waving the gun. Excuse me, but I'm like, Draymond's been out here, acting like the enforcer, and he got one game, 5. So, I'm glad that it happened. And once again, I'm not the biggest fan of him anyway. So I know, so record would listen to this. Yeah, you're right. I'm not the fan of him. I think he's a good player. I think to me, he was always over rated. Once again, starting his role, but they made him seem like he was like he was like this big this all-time NBA player. Once again, he's going to be a Hall of Famer because of the numbers and him getting 4 rings. But it kind of lets me know that he's not someone that they feel like they need in the league like that either. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Makes sense. Speaking about that though, it's seeming like now with this Warriors team, they need to make a few changes. You're talking about not being whatever. Klay Thompson not playing good at all this season for the Warriors. I mean, they're not playing Jonathan Kuminga. No idea why. Andrew Wiggins, that dude, talk about check stealer, secured the bag and hasn't done anything this year. So it looks like the Warriors need to shake up some things. I guess it wasn't just Jordan Poole.
No, facts. But my thing is, Kuminga and Moody need to be on the floor, and that's something Stephen A's alluded to. That's something the other pundits nationally and locally have lamented. So I'm not sure why that's the case. I don't know if Steve Kerr is if they're ready. I don't know if they haven't practiced well. Who knows, right? Or if they have nagging injuries, who knows? But it's time. It's time to see something different. Once again, um, I also think that the lack of development of even though he's not on the team anymore, but remember they get James Wiseman, he doesn't pan out. Kuminga has shown some flashes, but hasn't fully panned out. Same thing with Moody, right? So they haven't drafted great. They're looking a lot like a team in the Northeast that plays football that was relying on one guy to be the guy. And when he's that guy's getting older, so but you have to develop newer talent around them so that you can still be successful. So that's what's happening. But as far as Clay goes, I'm out. And I got to say this because Rec and some others was on my head a few years ago when I said this. I said if you put Devin Booker, if you trade him straight up right now, or at that time a few years ago for Klay Thompson, you're not losing anything. And I got scolded. You're out of your mind. And I bet you right now they would kill to have Devin Booker next to Steph Curry playing there because I promise you they will look a lot different. So
Or even drafting Tyler Halliburton instead of James Wiseman.
yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just like, don't tell me that like, once again, I'd rather take the bullet prematurely than for everybody to be like, oh man, that might be a good look now. And once again, people may listen to this tomorrow or later on tonight, since we're doing this live, they might be like, yeah, maybe he's still smoking something. And that's fine. You can feel that way. I'm just saying that once again, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And I just felt like Devin Booker is a hell of a talent. Speaking of them, they finally get their full big three tonight as well against Brooklyn. So funny how that goes, right?
For
So
real.
I'm hoping they finally get it together and beat the team that's supposed to be out west.
I mean, who's not getting together? Monty Williams, Greg Popovich. So the question is, who wins first, Detroit or San Antonio? Because Monty Williams is making 13.1 mil. I talked about, I believe it was last episode, where Detroit is just so much. What's the word I'm looking for? They're using too much. I can't think of the word. Whatever. But he's getting 13.1 mil. They're 2-21, and Greg Popovich is making 16 mil, and they're 3-19. So who gets their first win?
I'm a rock with San Antonio. I think that they will luck their way into getting a win. Once again, Wemby has looked fine. I think the people around him, obviously the supporting cast is not what I thought it was. Once again, we all know, for those that listen to the show, Aaron was high on Devin Vassell when he came out. Hasn't had the impact that he's had in recent memory. Keldon Johnson, I thought was going to be the next guy to step up after DeJounte Murray got dealt to Atlanta. And that still hasn't really come to fruition in a way that I think they even envisioned, maybe he envisioned. So, but yeah, I just think San Antonio, just because of how they're coached, even though the record does not display how they're being coached, that I think they're the team that gets it done. I can't believe that Detroit has lost that many games in a row. Once again, I saw Thompson has looked really good. Kate Cunningham has looked really good. They just really don't have. I don't know. I don't know how it snowballed that badly. Once again, you can't get rid of Monty Williams because you literally be on the hook for $75 million if you got rid of him right now. So I think they let go of him at the end of the season, honestly. So an NBA version of cleaning your desk, in December. But I think he's going after this year because I mean you can't lose that many games in a row and have some of the talent that they have and not at least be near 500. Like
Plus, he has to feed the people. Wingstop says if they win, they get wings for free or whatever, or discount, and they're not doing it.
Damn. You know what? They might be trying to get damn, what's the name of Eminem's restaurant out there? Oh, I was just out there in fucking August. Oh, Mama's Kitchen, whatever. Mom's Spaghetti. Excuse me, Mama's Kitchen. Mom's Spaghetti. Like it's literally right next to the arena. maybe they saying, "Hey, we're trying to promote this instead." Forget Wingstop. The Wingstop ain't nowhere near the arena. I know, because I was just there. So, I don't know, but yeah, damn, that sucks. That sucks that they not getting done in that regard. But yeah, I'm rocking with San Antonio for sure.
Mm. And then obviously Washington Wizards owners moving the Wizards and the Capitals, I guess, up the street. It's about 6 miles away. They're
Yeah.
going to go into Virginia. Does this help them win games, the Wizards, or just because it's a new atmosphere? Or I don't even know. Are they rebuilding? Are they not? I have no idea what's going on over there.
I think they're in a place in the NBA that you don't want to be in, right? They're not looking to completely take, but it's like they don't have any, they can't draw anybody. And once again, DC is a great spot to be around, great city to live in, but it's like, them fans, I mean, they're not the best fan base in the world, but they'll show up if if you're competing. So they love the Commanders, so they're going to show up for the Commanders regardless. I think it goes like Commanders, Ravens, Capitals, then probably the Wizards. Right now, I'm probably missing a team in there, but
Yeah, but isn't the Commanders, aren't they like in Virginia or something like that?
no,
Or Maryland or something like
they're
they're.
in, oh my God, Reeves, don't kill me. I know that's your squad. I want to say they're in Landover, Maryland. Um,
Yeah, they're like not even
like
in
yeah,
DC,
so
but yeah, they're
yeah,
called.
so they're there, but once again, DMV is huge though. Like they have a big. But most, like I said, it's Commanders. I feel like Commanders, Ravens, or depending on where you are, Commanders, Ravens, Capitals, then Wizards. But once again, you got Jordan Poole. You give him that deal, or you take on that deal. You give Kyle Kuzma that deal in the offseason, and it just hasn't really resulted in anything. And I feel bad for Wes Unseld Jr. because I feel like he's someone that's not going to get a fair shot probably ever again, because it's been that bad. So yeah, I don't think it does anything in the immediate. Maybe if it helps with taxes, as far as players not paying as much taxes coming to the area, maybe that changes the landscape. But right now, it's not an attractive place to come to because they literally don't have a competitive team. And then once again, as far as the Capitals go, I mean, yeah, we all know about Ovechkin, but he's not someone that's going to be around next 10 to 15 years. He's on the back end of his career. So there's a reshuffling they have to do in that city. And it starts with that move, but they're going to have to get some talent there for sure.
I will say before we go to the next NBA topic, I saw this. They were actually one of my friends put it up, but shame on Capital fans trying to come after Alex Ovechkin. He literally gives you guys a cup. He is your franchise. I know he's chasing Gretzky. He's having a really bad season this year, but I mean, it's understandable. He's getting up there in age. But shame on you trying to blame him for this season when your average is about 31 to 32-year-old men on skates.
Yep.
I don't get it. Why are you going to go after a guy who's done everything for the city of Washington, or Washington D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to start bashing him because he's having a bad year this year? Like, shame on you, Capitals
Yeah,
fans.
that's what fans be doing, man. I mean, listen, we'll talk about when we get to NFL. Same shit with Bill, but I'm sorry, I'm in that category, and I do not care that I'm on that man's head. But I feel you as a player, someone that once again brought them their championship. Probably will be the all-time leader scorer, or is it for points, or was it for what?
No, this is for goals, and
It's for
he
goals.
he literally has to get at least 30 this year to get closer, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Got you. Maybe he does what Ray Bork did at the end of his career. And goes elsewhere. Maybe gets it done there. Maybe Chance Henry will help him. I mean, obviously Ray Bork ended up winning in Colorado, but maybe he does that. He says, okay, well, if you don't appreciate me here, I'll go elsewhere and get the job done. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of celebrations, I keep seeing this thing around. Obviously, in-season tournament, Los Angeles Lakers win it. LeBron James and all of them are going absolutely nuts in the locker room. Check out Sunny Days in Flushing. We've given them a lot of support. Sunny Days Jerry has a great LeBron James rant. as on their Sunday show. I'll make sure to tag them in this so they can put it up. But great rant on LeBron James. Check that out if any LeBron haters are out there. But I keep swirling around that they want to do, if you win the IST, you're a guaranteed 7 seed. Now I feel like that's bad for the NBA because then you can just literally tank in quotes for the next like 30, 40 games. And you're like, oh, I'm guaranteed a playoff spot. So I don't have to go hard. I feel like that's a horrible idea.
Well, when do you play to get higher? And then I say if you lose, do you tail off? Then you become the 7th seed. But I feel like teams don't go in thinking I'm gonna lose 30, trying to lose 20 to 30
But,
games.
but you're guaranteed a 7 spot no matter what. I would. I'd be like, you know what I
So
mean? Like
okay,
redshirt
okay, so
guys. It's pretty
yeah.
much like that.
So I would say maybe guarantee you a play-in spot, meaning you be in the tournament, but not necessarily you actually be the 7th seed. I feel like you could be 7 through 10, depending on how that goes. But to me, how I want to see the tournament go, before I get into what happened, because how folks feel about LeBron James, and I'll address that in a minute, because I always think it's hilarious. I always feel like the tournament should help towards a draft pick, right? I felt like they should have some type of tournament during the summer or in June, right before the draft, like a 2-week tournament of the teams that they make the playoffs. Let them come out there, do their thing, or even do it right at the end of the year, right? Do it at the end of the season, have a tournament, and then whoever wins that tournament, that team gets the number 1 pick.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and once again, it could be it could be amongst all the lottery. So instead of doing TV on, let's do the lottery. Nope. Have them come out there, do a tournament. You don't have to be back to back. Do every other day, so you can get people can get rest. Have that tournament then to end the season, and whoever wins out of those teams can go to, can get that number 1 pick, and then whoever finishes second gets second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. Like I think that would be phenomenal.
Personally. That would be very interesting. You definitely see a lot of good competition,
right? And that's what I would want to see. But I just don't know if they would eventually do that. But I think that would be a phenomenal way to make that tweak. I do think I would even up the pot a little bit more next year to maybe like 750,000. I feel like, because once again, this was a success. Like the fact that we talked about it on every show, like the IST for sure has been a success. It's just, once again, it's, because of who won it, folks are diminishing it. That's a lot of Celtics fans are, oh, we don't want XYZ. You would have been hype if you won. It's okay. It's okay to admit you would have been excited. As a Rocket fan, you would have been, once again, it matters to see your guys win something and build. That's what that did. Plus, it put guys that don't get, believe it or not, Aaron, we're making more than some two-way players. Shady too, he's not on the show tonight, but we're making more than some two-way players in the NBA. They don't tell you that because it's like it's whatever, but we're making more than some of them guys. So, hey, you don't think I'm fighting here for that extra 500,000? Are you dumb? Of course, I'm going crazy. So, but I would love for it to push up to about 750,000 to 500, so that those back end players will get even more bread and be more stable throughout the year. But but to your original question, it don't need to be a guarantee spot, but I say it'd be cool to at least maybe get into the play-in. But yeah, my only tweak would be like, let me see something at the end of the year that works for us, and I'm going to pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would rather do this like kind of the end of the season than in the middle. Or if you're going to do maybe a tournament, maybe during like the All-Star break, maybe switch it up like that and do a few games like that. Because I feel like you'd get more views because everyone's trying to watch the All-Star and all that. And it'd give players, I mean, it wouldn't give them rest, but it would kind of give them rest longer to do because it'd be halfway in the season.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. But that's cool. But it's like, we'll see. I'm sure they're going to make some tweaks on it, but I just think that. But my homeboy JB, I think why he just texted. He was like, "Oh, do you think they're too hard on Draymond?" No, JB, they're not too hard on him.
You
That
should
that
you should text him to just comment that on the live stream.
yeah. So no, I think he's at work right now, but it's just like
You know what?
yeah,
You don't need to work. Check out
yeah,
That's My Sports. And speaking of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and
that's
follow
right,
us on
baby. That's right.
YouTube. I
That's
have
right.
slides up for the first time for That's My Sports. So if you're listening to this on the audio, check it out on the YouTube. Hit
Mm-hmm.
that sub. We're trying to make it to
Yeah.
100.
I'm like,
Getting better.
I think we're about 30 out from right now, so we're about 30 away. So
Yep.
keep that going. But yeah, but no, not too hard on them. But that's that. So we'll close on NBA on chat for right now. Let's get into the NFL.
First thing we got to talk about, though.
Yeah. First thing we got to talk about. So look, man. The report came out yesterday.
Yep. Yesterday.
I see it from Adam Schefter, seen it from Ian Rappaport. It seems that all reports are leading to Bill Belichick is going to be out after the 24 season, excuse me, as the New England Patriots coach. As you see on the ticker there, for those that's watching on YouTube, but obviously for those that's listening on audio, he's won 265 games in the regular season, 3 times coach of the year, 6-time Super Bowl champion, 2 as an assistant with the New York Giants, and 8
No. That's 8.
No,
If
no,
it's two,
as head coach, and then 2 as an assistant.
oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
dang, no.
I'm giving credit where it's due. And then 17 division titles, which I don't know will be matched again. I just that it was insane. We were like the Atlanta Braves of of the NFL, but we actually won. We won more, I should say. They won 2, but we won more. So yeah. This is a glorious day. I'm excited. I've been clamoring for this since we went 7-9 a few years ago, and Shea and many others were like, "Oh, you're talking about it prematurely, and it shouldn't happen." Once again, I'd rather take the premature bullet. You saw the writing on the wall when Robert Kraft said that Tom Brady wasn't coming back. Bill Belichick should have did that. That Simpsons meme when they come in and then they walk right out. The grandpa. That's exactly what should happen. Start whistling, put on the Kango hat like Tom Landry, and go west, young man. Go west. So I see that smirk on your face. What are your thoughts, man? 24 seasons. Bill's used to be out there. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I wonder if it would have been different if he wasn't the GM. I feel like if he wasn't the GM, like let's say Nick Cassier, I can't even talk today.
No, Caserio.
Caserio was the GM. Bill Belichick still doing his thing. They actually drafted the right people. They got CJ Stroud. They actually got receivers and DK Metcalf, this and that. I feel like it would be a totally different story. But I think because Bill had too much pride, and I think they should have gotten rid of Brady when Jimmy G was still here. I think it would have been a lot easier in that transition instead of all that kind of just blowing up in his face. He's already made these bad moves. Tom Brady's now down in Tampa, and then they got, what do they got? Nobody really. When he left, they didn't have any quarterbacks.
Right.
So I feel like if the GM bill never happened, I think it would have been a lot better situation for the Patriots. But I mean, again, top coach. I wish he coached for the Giants when Bill Parcells retired instead of going over to Cleveland. But the Mariners made an awful decision and hired a nice guy in Dan Reeves, and that wasn't good for especially that locker room. I feel like Bill Belichick should have been that guy. But I mean, definitely a top coach. There has been some good scandals, and we cannot forget he's been a coach for the Jets for exactly 1 day.
Yeah. Right. And then sign the paper or sign the contract on the napkin for Robert Kraft, which is crazy that even went down like that. And listen, he's the greatest coach of all time. So this is not. I don't want that to get lost in my anger at this moment, right? But every good thing comes to an end. And once again, we've had almost a quarter, or no, yeah, 2 decades of dominance. It was bound to end. And once again, this just crashed and burned. It wasn't something where it was like a slow decline, like it crashed and burned. But yeah, you had Jimmy G. My thing is, I can't forgive him for 2018 though. You had the 23rd pick, you have the 31st pick. You draft you draft Isaiah Wynn at 23. You draft Sony Michelle at 31. Now, those two were on the championship team that's following year. I get it. You missed on Lamar Jackson. Then on 2019, AJ Brown cried. The man cried that he wasn't gonna be a New England Patriot. So as far as 4 years ago, you still have players that really, really wanted to be up here. Um, regardless of what they heard about Bill and about Tom, whatever, like they wanted to be here. You passed on Debo, passed on Brandon Ayuk, like just like and you draft potentially the worst wide receiver that might have ever played this game.
I don't
Like,
even think he's in the league right now. And if he is, his practice squad.
right, correct. So it's like that's a joke. And I get it. That Kansas City game where there was a non-call, and we'll get into that in a minute. But that Kansas City that had a non-call against N'Keal Harry, that changed his career. People can say, oh, that's not the case. You know, and Roy, I've been waiting to say this. So I'm glad I threw the alley to myself. It ruined a Hall of Fame career by not saying that N'Keal Harry was in bounds. It ruined it. You ruined a Hall of Fame career, NFL. How could you? How could you ruin a potentially Hall of Fame career by not saying that N'Keal Harry was in bounds? He scored a touchdown. You know it, Aaron. I know it. Roger Goodell knows it. Andy Reid knows it. But they weren't crying then, right? Andy Reid wasn't crying then. Patrick Mahomes wasn't crying. Travis Kelce wasn't crying. Tyreek Hill wasn't crying. But now what's the problem? Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. The
Well,
fuck happened to you, you know?
well,
The fuck
speaking of
happened
that,
to you?
since we're already kind of doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
NFL Week 14 takeaways.
Go ahead.
Pat
Yes,
Mahomes is turning into
take
Tom
it away.
Brady.
Take it
So
away.
I was on earlier. Shout out to ATL Prime Sports and all the guys that were there. I was in their X Twitter space,
Mm,
and they were talking about the Pat Mahomes situation that happened on Sunday with Josh Allen. And I said, isn't it crazy that Pat Mahomes cannot take this pressure, becoming the face of the NFL, essentially acting like Tom Brady, like he used to? And they were trying to tell me that they've never seen Brady do that before, and this and that. And I was trying to say what I was going to say, but I couldn't say it because other people in the space were talking, which is fine. But we've seen Brady do similar things to that, just a little bit different with the refs, where it comes to certain calls, all up in their face, this and that. The frustration where he wouldn't shake hands with anybody if the Patriots lost, or even Tampa. So it's kind of crazy that Pat Mahomes is starting to crack under pressure, becoming the face of the NFL. And
it's
also,
hard.
too, is Kadarius Toney, I believe he was offsides about 4 times in that game. They just caught him for that last one, and he was offsides. I wish they did it, though, in the Miami game because Jalen Waddle was the same thing, which is his left leg. But as a receiver, you should know, like, dude, am I on the line? Like, I've seen receivers always ask the refs, hey, am I on? Do I need to back up?
Yeah.
I guess, young Joker was out there, wasn't thinking. But it's just crazy now that the Chiefs are just imploding right now. And the Denver Broncos are a game out from the division. And they got mollywopped set by through a 70-piecer. Miami Dolphins did to them, and they're 1 game away from getting the division.
Unreal. And that's why I love football, right? Because everyone buried him. Everyone buried him when it was at that juncture, which rightfully so. Giving them 70 is insane. But they've bounced back in a major way. But excuse me, yeah, I have no sympathy for what happened Sunday. None. Because I've been a fan of the team that had the best quarterback, or many presumed as the best quarterback in the league, unless you were a Colts fan, right? They were that's just what it was. And I never, but the only difference I would say, I never seen Brady go at a player after the game like how he went at Josh Allen Young. So it's fucking Sargent. And I'm like, what?
I think he would have if he didn't just walk away. I think he probably had the emotions like that. I was like, I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah, the only player I see, and that it probably happened more than what I remember, but the one I remember vividly with Brady going at a player, that's because the dude that talked all week was this is '07. Pittsburgh came here, and Anthony Smith was talking insane all week. They're not doing this to us. They're not doing that. Da da da. The first play of the game, this man threw a 70-yard bomb. So Taekwon Underwood, not Randy Moss,
I remember
not,
Type One.
not Walker. This man threw the Taekwon Underwood and ran up to him and said, "Yo, it's gonna be a long day." I'm paying. He didn't say a long day, but he paraphrased. But it's gonna be a long day, and man, it got ugly quick. So Brady would internalize it. Then when he got mad, it was okay. I bet. Oh, you talking? Got you. Let me show you why I'm X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I just think to me, Mahomes very much like Brady many times, or even like Peyton Manning. It sucks when you don't get the calls that you've always been getting or lack thereof. You know, they've got everything you could think of, everything you could think of, and now one call doesn't go your way. Now you're now you're ready to body slam the ref like it's some WWE shit. I thought it was great. I'm glad they're imploding. Fuck them, honestly. Because everyone crowned them. Okay, they won two. I'm like, this man got 6 championships and went to fucking 10, and we're talking about he's already better. Come on. Once again, people didn't think Brady was better than Montana until he got the 4th ring. And I'm like, this man won 2, and you already got him on the Mount Rushmore. That to me, that blew my mind. Once again, hell of a quarterback. He's definitely the best in the league now. But it warms my heart to see him and the rest of that team struggle. So, I'm sure there's other fans as well too. Love that.
Speaking of not struggling, Joe Flacco. I'm sorry, Flacco.
Oh yeah. Show some respect. Show some respect.
Also a little bit right there.
Yeah,
so
Joe, he's back, baby.
So this is a weird situation. He's winning games for the Browns. They keep bringing him back down to the practice squad because they don't want to pay him. But you don't have anybody on the roster. You cut PJ Walker. I'm assuming Dorian Thompson is still in concussion protocol, which is, I'm just assuming. But winning games for Cleveland, is he the answer for Cleveland to get into the playoffs?
I think for the rest of the season.
And make a run?
I think for the rest of the season. I think that, once again, Joe Flacco throwing for 300 yards in 2023 was not on my bingo card. I have to be honest. I that just wasn't what I would think he'd be doing at this stage. But yeah, he gives them a veteran presence. And once again, that defense is ready. Myles Garrett is a problem. Like that defense is ready. Like, was there someone just like, "Are you ready? Here I come." Like they are ready, man. Like, so to me, you just need someone that can stabilize. They weren't going to have a legitimate shot with DTR or PJ Walker. And once again, I know that Flacco, you got me calling Flacco. He's the 4th quarterback that they've won with this year. So yeah, it's been pretty interchangeable. But I feel like Joe Flacco, if he is the guy behind center, he gives them the best chance to win week in and week out. Right now, anyways.
Right. I saw an interesting stat the other day. So Puka Nacua, receiver for the Rams, is on pace to match Jamar Chase's rookie receiving yards at 1,455. However, though, this is not the most ever by a rookie. I'm surprised this stat is not up there. So apparently the record is held. I don't know if you know this. Do you know this? Probably not. Is by Bill Groman. Bill Groman, right? I didn't even know this guy existed. He was a rookie for the Houston Oilers in 1960 and had 1,473 yards, more than anyone in the NFL or AFL that year.
Wow!
And he only played in 14 games, which makes it even better, and was undrafted. And it says here he became an 8th grade teacher after graduating. Oh Jesus, Heidelberg College in 1958.
Love that.
So insane that
Bro,
record is
think about how
still
crazy that is, though. That man dropped a record like that, but still had to go teach middle school.
yes.
Reckless.
Insane. So shout
Awful.
out to that. I mean, I think Puka could probably get Jamar Chase's record now
Yeah.
with Cooper Cup. I don't know if he's still a little hampered, but it is what it is. I did see Aiden O'Connell is still going to be the QB1 for the Raiders. So our backup quarterback's good for the NFL. We got Tommy Cutlets over in Jersey. Can we say Zach Wilson is a backup? I'm not even sure.
I mean,
Aiden
he's not
O'Connell's out there. Nick Mullins is starting for Minnesota next week over Josh Dobbs, who was a backup, sort of starter thing. So is this good for the market of backups where it's showing that you need a good backup and you have to actually not bring out a brink truck, but give them a good amount of money to keep them on the team?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, you just alluded to it, right? I felt like that is it's this year reiterated that the backup position is the most important position in the NFL by far, right? Um, you're not practicing as much. Age and attrition eventually catches up to some players. Some players aren't stretching the way they used to. Like I just mentioned a few moments ago, they're not practicing the way they need to. So, because of all those factors that are coming in to each week, you have to make sure that the guy that's backing up your starter is more than equipped to hold the team down, whether it's for 2 weeks, 5 weeks, or even just if you're blowing your team out, and you want to take out your quarterback early, that they can maintain that lead while the starter is out the game. So yeah, I think it's good to see that. So Jake Browning, hell, even Bailey Zappi last week had a really good showing in Pittsburgh. So yeah, I think it's good to see that happening. I do want to call you out on the air though, because I said it on Twitter, but I'm gonna say it here while on the show. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna call you. Yeah, I'm gonna call you out because so it's already passed now, but we had a surprise for our guy here, our good friend here, Mr. Kaz, Hollywood Kaz. We were gonna take him to the Patriots. He says, you know what? He's like, you know what, bro? Not really looking to go to that. Not feeling it. So that's okay, cool. We'll do something else together another time. Not a problem. Since that moment where he kind of he semi quit on his Giants, seeing him live, they have won 3 games in a row, and now he's calling Tommy DeVito Tommy Cutlets. I don't like it. It feels like a fair weather moment. Even though, listen, I know it's all jokes. He's far from a fair weather fan, but that was a fair weather moment. Joe, I don't want to see them, and they've done nothing but win since then. And now they're a game out. I think of they're a
They
game out
are.
Atlanta. It's wild.
They
That's
are.
wild.
Well, you see, and what's funny about that was that I said that when we were getting destroyed by the Raiders, and then of course we had the Cowboys the next week. It's got manhandled. I'm like, yeah, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to see this shit. But we should have went because I guess DeVito's family was in the parking lot serving cutlets. So it's
Mm.
damn, I'm so pissed that we couldn't
Yeah.
say.
See. Yeah. So you know what?
But
Next year
yeah, but
I'm
it
telling
was
you right now, if they play, we're going. Fuck it. I don't those. I'm putting it on air right now. So I will go back to this tape and we will post this on TikTok. We are going. If they play well and they somehow face the England again next year, we're going. So
I will say though, it definitely stirs up a little controversy with Daniel Jones
that does
because
it though.
yeah, because Tommy Cutlets is doing what Dable's doing. Dable told him on that 2-minute warning or a minute warning, but you know what I mean, to just sling that shit. And he was slinging it. He runs the ball when he needs to. He does have inaccuracies when he throws. He either throws a little too far or he just doesn't, put it right into the chest, which is fine. He is a rookie. But it seems like the team is standing by him with the Tommy Cutlets thing, which I saw from Darren Waller and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, he's doing everything Dable says. Dable's winning with them. I think he's the first undrafted rookie quarterback to go 3-0 and not throw an interception. So it might be a little controversy for the backup role next year, or I'm not going to say the starter because I'm not sure what the Giants are going to do now, but I don't know. Tommy Cullins has put a name for himself, and I think we could make it to the playoffs. He is Italian, and his agent looks like he's in the mafia. So maybe those refs' pockets are gonna feel nice and fat.
Facts.
Maybe we'll make it.
I saw that video. I was like, wow, I'm like, this guy is Michael Imperioli over here
And it does feel good to
Love it.
have Italian figures in sports. It seems a lot better. And I mean, come on, I never had my Lynn Sandy moment. I'm not a Knicks fan, and this is kind of like the Lynn Sandy moment.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, that's valid. There's your clip. That's valid. that's the clip right there. So we got two already on this. That's one. That's for sure. That's fair. That's fair. So, but yeah, no. Listen, all jokes aside, like it's a good look to see what he's done, what Will Levis has done. Right, Will Levis had to come back on Monday night. Obviously Jay Browning, what he did on Monday night against Jacksonville. Excuse me. So yeah, it's good to see that happening. And once again, you definitely have to back up the Brinks trunk as you mentioned, because you you can't, having a quarterback is not everything. Not having one is. So keep that in mind. Shout out to Kanye West for that one. That line.
Well, before we get into any week 15 picks, you have any more takeaways?
I just want I think Dallas is the best team in football right now, and it's wild to say, but the way they've come out, and I know they lost services early in the year, but we're just going off what we've seen recently. It's not even close what they're doing to teams. Like, and we can say, oh, it's the opponent. No, when you're beating NFL teams consistently by 15 or more, you gotta give credit where it's due. Once again, it could very well fold in the playoffs because that's what's happened. But once again, right now, I think they're the best team. And side note, shout out to Malik Cunningham for getting signed by Baltimore. Once again, we weren't going to use him here, unfortunately, even though Bill gave him $250,000 signing bonus for an undrafted and barely played 5-10 snaps. That was dumb, but that just speaks to his ineptitude as a GM now, not a coach, but as a GM. So yeah, that's my final takeaway before we get into the picks.
Yeah, I don't have any more.
So let's get into week 15 picks. So start with Thursday if I can find it. Hold on. Here we go. Should already had it up. So is there a Thursday night game? Yes, there is. So we have the Chargers versus Raiders. Who you got in that one?
Ooh, I mean, Justin Herbert's out for the year. I'm gonna go Raiders. I mean, Easton Stick though, North Dakota State. Carson Wentz got all the praise over there, but Easton Stick, he won some ships over there too.
Yeah, he did. I mean that just sounds like a replacement quarterback name. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't sound like a starter. Easton Stick, North Dakota State. Like it don't even sound like it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Raiders should win this one. And once again, I've said this on the show religiously and any other platform I'm on. The Chargers' biggest downfall is that they never ever stay healthy, which it ties back to what we just saw. They're saying that Bill might get traded to LA. He would clean house with a lot of those guys because his biggest thing above all, if you can't be on the field, you can't play for me. So
then he's losing Keenan Allen because Keenan Allen isn't playing Thursday either.
Right, exactly. So I'm just like they better figure it out because it's like it's getting real. So that's that. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, Herbert and many on that team have taken that decline, but it is what it is. So next on the 1:00 slate, we have the Bengals versus the Vikings. I'll go first on that one. I'm gonna go Bengals at home, but I'm gonna ride with the Vikings. I'm gonna go with the Vikings on the road there, getting that one done.
Yeah, Sam, I'm gonna go with Shay's dad's favorite team, the Vikings.
Remember,
Remember, this is Saturday games.
Oh yeah, sure is. Yep, I see that. Yep. The Saturday games. Yep. So I said 1:00 slate. Yep. So yeah, yep. Which I feel like they should do every now and then because I'm like they can still compete with college football teams.
They always do around the Christmas time.
I'm people are gonna watch. No, I'm saying I'm talking about throughout the year. Like people are gonna watch. They're gonna watch. Like you got whatever noon game you want to watch for college football, and then you're gonna turn to the NFL. Like, or you're gonna have two TVs on. Like that. That's just what it is. So next on Saturday on the 16th, so we have the Steelers versus the Colts. So who do you got in that one?
Oh boy, Mitchell Trubisky or Gardner Minshew. It's a tough one. I probably have to go with the Gardner Minshew Colts. I think the Steelers are kind of going off the rails, literally.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know how you lose to that New England team. Um, I like this version of New England is very, very bad. And the fact that Bailey Zappi came in there and looked like a real quarterback was insane. Like the throw to Hunter Henry was awesome. And once again, pun intended, he has a little more zip on his ball than than Mac Jones. And it worked. And it's amazing how Tyquan Thornton looks different with him. Ezekiel Elliott had his best game with him. So I'm like, I don't know. So which I'm hoping that's not the case because I'm like, I don't need them to be better than what they are, but we'll get into that shortly. And then the last game on Saturday, is the Broncos versus the Lions. A few weeks ago, this would have been a 1-2-3, but I feel like,
I got
um,
Broncos country. Let's ride.
yeah, and only because I still can't trust Detroit in a primetime situation. Once again, Thanksgiving was that chance to get people on their side and really go, and they just continue to falter when it matters most. So I'm riding with the Broncos there. Um, and then the next game, so now it's a Sunday. Uh, my Patriots versus Chiefs. Um, I got to give a shout out to my mom here because my mom is like, she's like, I don't know, Sean. I think New England's gonna get them on Sunday. She was like, it feels like KC's kind of falling back. And mom, I love you. You're out of your mind, mom. They're not winning Sunday. This is a 1-2-3. 1-2-3. Kansas City.
The
I, I'm,
Chiefs
I'm sorry.
Kingdom.
I'm sorry. Once again, and we'll tape next week, obviously, before I go because I'm going away. But it's just like if that's the case, it's like, hey, it's like like I said, I will come back here and eat crow if they lose, but if they win. But I'm like, I doubt it. So next we have the Bears versus the Browns. This should be a 1-2-3 as well, especially with Joe Flacco on the ones and twos. The new Broadway Joe. 1-2-3. Cleveland, this is for you.
Maybe Bill Belichick will go back to Cleveland.
I mean that would be great too. You know, have a redemption tour, as I put that in air quotes. Next we have Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. Who you got in that one?
Oh boy, Tampa Bay or Green Bay? Ugh. I probably have to go with the Buccaneers. It looked like Joe
Oh,
Barry's defense with the Packers on Monday night did not seem that good. And again, we had Tommy Cutlets, and they didn't even sack us. And that's kind of surprising because the Giants' line is trash.
yep.
But yeah, Tampa Bay.
I'm going with Green Bay though. I feel like at home, I feel like they'll recoup or whatever. Once again, Tampa Bay has surpassed whatever I thought. Like, say
Oh,
I
we
can't,
know
I
he
can't
he said two
believe,
wins, folks. He said
yeah,
two wins.
cannot believe they've won 6 games. So that is unbelievable. So, but yeah, right with Green Bay on that one. Next, uh, last week I wanted to say this is a 1-2-3. I can't because they just beat Miami. So we got Houston versus this is the DeAndre Hopkins bowl. So who you got in that one?
Well, I was listening to Just Fans Pod. Shout them out. They're a Houston-based podcast, and they were not feeling very comfortable with Davis Longneck Mills as their starting quarterback, and they definitely do not trust Case Keenum. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee on this one, unless somehow CJ Stroud can come back from the concussion protocol.
David Long. David Long. Yo, that's crazy. That's hilarious as fuck though. Yeah, I mean, I'm if that's the case, hopefully he comes back healthy. He's been such a great story. That whole team has been a great story all year. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Will Levis. Like once again, you come off that major performance on Monday night, and I think D Hop is probably gonna have the best game of his season against his old team. So Darius Stingley and them boys ain't got a shot. When if he's locked in, it's gonna be a long day. So then next On the one close side, we have the Jets versus the Dolphins.
That's a 1-2-3.
Is it though? They just lost to Tennessee. Tennessee got the same record. Yeah,
It's Zach Wilson though. He can't. Lightning doesn't strike twice, and he's not gonna have another good game like that, like he did against
he's had
Tennessee.
2 good games already this season though.
Uh,
Yeah, do it. It's okay. Go out on a limb. Go out on a limb. Pick them.
nah, I'm picking the Dolphins. I can't.
I'm going Jets. Just end the season, but they gonna win Sunday. They're gonna win Sunday 20-7, 20. I'm gonna say 24-21.
Oh wow.
The only reason why they're gonna get a pick on defense at running back. That's the one way they're gonna score. And then Zach Wilson might get one late. Next, the G-Men. I guess the famous Jameis gets the Saints. We got that one.
I mean, we're down in New Orleans. Last time we did that, we won overtime. I mean, they're riding high. I might have to go Giants on this one.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, I picked the Giants too, man. Like I said, it seems like y'all said, "Fuck it, we're going for it." And I like that. You know what I'm saying? I've joked about, oh, we got to tank. But I'm like, when you're like I said, you're visibly that bad as my team has been, it's like it doesn't help you to be, you know, in the hunt or going for a playoff spot when you're going to get blown out in the first round anyways. Like it's pathetic.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad you said that because I've seen a lot of like Giants Twitter like going off because we're winning games. Like you're not a real fan if you want to tank like that. Tanking is awful because you don't get players to come over to your squad because you're just losing all the time.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you get a high draft pick, but he's coming into a bad situation. If you really watch football and you were a fan, yeah, I mean, we hate it when they lose. You know,
Yep.
we've done this for 3 years. Like, you can hear all my Giants rants that have happened. I hate when they lose, but I'm never gonna be like, yeah, we should fucking tank.
Yeah.
Whoever. It's like, no.
Yeah, but it's pretty bad. Same thing with Patriots fans. Like fans are ready to jump off the Toby.
Well, that's because Patriot fans, if they have just started, they have no idea what losing's about.
Yeah,
they came right into Tom Brady.
Most of this generation, yes.
Yeah.
But it's just like the same. Those are the same fans. I'm like, we watched Aaron Boone hit that home run. This is my era. We watched Aaron Boone hit that home run. We watched, we watched Jason Kidd come in here and beat us in the conference finals to go to the finals. We watched Roger Clemens come in here and win in 99. We watched Cleveland come in here in 98. So my era, we that's why I'm looking at people in my era like, I said, what's wrong with y'all? We saw this. We saw this heartbreak happen. Don't act like it was always we've seen it. We've seen it in different sports. We saw it. It's like we saw it happen. So I don't know. To me, I'm like, a lot of them are just 12-year-olds on Twitter that have never seen the Patriots be awful. So, they tweet on there. They're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they lost again. Like, this is terrible." I was just like, get your panties out a bunch. But next, this is a 1-2-3 because this team is just fucking blows. Atlanta, Carolina, 1-2-3 Falcons. Like, sorry, Shay. Like, I know you love to troll them, but I'm like, dude, they're right in the middle. They're right there. And they can make the playoffs. Like 3-point favorites is wild. Like that, I guess maybe because of the NFC South matchup, but that's a joke. So next, Commanders, Rams, the Sean McVay Bowl. Who wins there?
Oh my god! It's funny. I don't even fucking know. I don't even know who's gonna because we can see Sam Howell go off for like 300 yards, right? And still lose. I guess the Rams, but
yeah. I'm like, this is two mediocre teams. Yeah, but I'll go with the Rams. Next, once again, the Patriot fan in me needs Arizona to win this game, but I know better. It's a 1-2-3 San Francisco, baby.
Oh yeah.
it's like, oh my god.
Arizona's gonna lose their heart to San Francisco. If you don't know what that is, a Tony Bennett song.
Oh, here we go. He also has my favorite. He also sings my favorite Christmas song ever. Christmas at Herald Square. Love that song. Yeah, that's fine. From head to toe. Yeah, there won't be no yearly Yuletide for the for the Cardinals. I'll tell you that. Uh, it, listen, this might be part two for you. Be once again, Dallas versus Buffalo.
I'm not doing it
Cut it
again.
out!
I
Stop!
can circle the wagon. I
Stop
think the
it!
Bills can do
Stop
it.
it! Stop it!
Listen, if Arizona
Stop
can
it!
beat the Dallas
Stop
Cowboys, the
it!
Buffalo Bills can beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Stop it! They couldn't
And
do it in the
and
'90s.
Arizona had Josh Dobbs. All right.
They couldn't do it in the '90s. They can't do it now.
Oh, geez.
That
Bruce
you know,
Smith's walking through that door. He wants redemption.
hey, that's that. Well, his fat ass be on the sideline watching. I'm going with Dallas, man. Listen, but Buffalo barely. I don't, and I feel like the NFL is gonna fuck with them because of what just happened. There's no way. There's no way they beat Dallas on Sunday, even with them being at home. Next one here. I'm excited for this game. This might be one of the games of the week here. Baltimore versus Jacksonville. Who you got there?
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence should be good in this game, but I'm still going with Ravens flock.
Yeah, Ravens have been balling. Your boy Odell looks like he's good again. So we'll see how that goes. And but yeah, they should come out victorious there. And then last but not least, this is a 1, 2, 3 on Monday Night Football. The game they got flexed for my New England Patriots, which is a fucking joke that happened. But I'm glad it happened because I would not want to see us lose 40-0 or 40-10 on ABC. So 1, 2, 3, fly Eagles fly, baby.
Fly Eagles fly
Like,
on the road to victory.
And I'm like, Rose Gold, I ain't forget about you, dog. Just because we didn't have you on, I talked to you early in the week. I was like, that loss was tough, brother. So, I was like, once again, I'm only on your head, Rose, because you talk about my guy JB. If you just talk about JB, we was cool, but you made it personal to talk about JB. So now I had to get on you about Philly getting smacked. It was an ass whooping from the jump, baby. So that concludes the Week 15 picks. Any other takes on that before we get into MLB free agency?
Yep, just seeing where Zach Ertz is going to go. His destinations, I keep hearing, is San Fran. I think Dallas and Miami, unless there's another team. But just kind of seeing where Zach Ertz is going to go.
He's too slow for Miami. Too slow.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a red zone guy.
At this stage of his career, too slow.
Yeah.
He better off going to Dallas, being the second tight end there. I think that would be perfect for him. Perfect for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably do. I said Eagles and on one thing on Twitter. Just gotta have a reunion. They got Dallas Goedert, but he was coming off of I think he got broken arm or something. Happened earlier this year. But
yeah.
But,
let's get into the Major League Baseball. So I mean, this just broke over the weekend. It's the craziest deal I've seen for multiple reasons. We'll get into that shortly. But 10 years to the LA Dodgers for Shohei Ohtani, who's been the best attraction in baseball since he got there. 10 years, $700 million. Initial thoughts on the deal.
So there's a new thing now that's going on with this deal is obviously the deferred money. So he's getting $2 million, I think until 2035, which is funny because Bobby Bonilla's deal will be done in 2034. So Bobby Bonilla is potentially passing the torch over to Ohtani and said, "Here you go." So that happened, and then also while I was on a Mets podcast while listening to it, I'm trying to find it. So Shohei Ohtani can actually option out of his mega deal if Dodgers owner or president of baseball operations leaves their roles. So in layman's terms, if you're not sure, it's kind of like if LeBron James is controlling the team, which we all know he does. I've said it for years. It's pretty much like that. Like if something's not going to go his way, well, yeah. But yeah, so that's an interesting clause, and people are kind of up in arms about that in the MLB, how the players are getting too much power. And I joked and said, I guess Rob Manfred is taking some notes from Adam Silver because he's trying to get the MLB, getting up there. So maybe I think it's a good thing for the MLB, gives the players still power. with what they want to do. But I've never heard of that in the MLB
Right.
before.
Listen, that people was like, why did he defer the payment? I said, do you know how smart that was? They could still go out and get and compete while um while he's there. Like that's incredible. And
And
once
he can
again,
get
yeah,
$68 million when he's 52 years old.
beautiful. It's phenomenal. So I don't know. I just to me that was a phenomenal deal. Um, I think that each sport should have that where you're able to defer money. I feel that should be in the CBA. Um, yeah, I think it's not in the NBA's, and I mean, I know damn sure it's not in the NFL's, because a lot of guys want their money up front. But
Well, this defer is in the MLB CBA.
it is.
There's
That's
a
what I'm saying.
reason why they did it. Yeah.
Right, I say, but I feel like it should be in every
Oh
state.
yeah.
But like because I think long term money should be the goal. Like, and if it's not, what are we doing this for? Um, if you can't live off $2 million a year, something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, because he's gonna get at least 50 mil in endorsements.
Exactly. So it's like, and I get it. Most people, most players are not getting the endorsements that he's going to get. I get that, right? So New Balance, other stuff, I get that. Um, but even if you're getting close to Mike Trout money, you telling me that you wouldn't want some of that 400 million deferred? Like just pay like 100 million deferred over 20 years. Like that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So but let's say kudos to him. I thought it was a done deal to Toronto, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, am I in my division? I'm like, what the fuck? Uh so but I am glad that didn't work out that way. So but let's get into our teams, man. You go first with your Mets. So
So I'm not really worried about the Mets because we're already at 280 mil. We are getting guys that are kind of like role players. So I mean, David Stearns, he doesn't really have much to work with. So at a 40-man roster, he pretty much gutted it down to like 26. We just signed Clay Thompson's brother, Trace Thompson, so he'll be a potentially fourth
yeah,
outfielder.
okay.
We just signed a minor league deal about a few hours ago. That's not too bad. I mean, I would like Yamamoto, the Japanese pitcher. Steve Cohen flew over there. Not many owners are doing that. Yamamoto's coming over. Actually went to him, met his family, this and that. So, I mean, if we can land that, I think that's kind of the big free agent signing that everyone's kind of looking for. Like, once that domino falls, I think everyone else is just kind of fall into place.
Right.
So, if we can get ahead, that's cool. If not, I mean, there is a guy, Imanaga. Hopefully, I said that right. He's 30, though. So, maybe you can get it down. I wouldn't mind Jordan Montgomery for 4 or 5 years. I don't want the 7 that he's asking. Blake Snell, I do not want to have him in Citi Field. He's terrible when it comes to going deep into games. The most he's done is like 5 innings, 5, 6. He has to rely on the bullpen.
No, Kevin Cash ruined that.
Yeah, apparently so. Kevin Cash ruined it. Yeah, not Blake Snell. Kevin Cash. That was an uproar.
That man was nails in that World Series closeout.
Yeah.
And Kevin Cash said, you know what? Like, come on.
Yep. But other than that, Mets fans need to be patient. They just think because Stevie Stacks has money that he's just going to start blowing so much. I mean, he's already done that. Nothing's really happened. He got a 100-win season, but hasn't gone far in the playoffs with it. So I like what we're doing. Got to keep the flow. I've seen worse. I don't want to sign players like we have with Jason Bays of the world and, players like that where it's not going to work out. So the Mets are doing what they need to do. I'm not too worried.
Jason Bay was a very good major leaguer.
For Pittsburgh, yes.
He was good for my Red Sox, too.
Well, yeah, the 1 year, yeah.
Yeah, he was good up there. Because remember, he had a lot of pressure up here because he was the guy to replace Manny. And folks was like, hey.
That's why he went, nope, I'm going to go down south to Queens.
You can't come up here and not be the guy. But no, I mean, he did okay. All things considered. But you just wasn't going to match Manny, obviously. But as far as the Red Sox, obviously, I think Seth Lugo was a guy that was on the radar.
Oh my
Clearly,
god, that
yeah,
was a horrible signing. 3 for 45.
45. I was like, I said, okay.
Unfucking believable. Listen, that guy's had a. Keep saying it in these Mets chats, but nobody's saying it. This dude literally had like a partially torn UCL since like 2018.
Yep. So 40. But once again, if you're Kansas City and this is not 2015 anymore, you have to overpay. Just do.
Well,
Um,
they're going to go to the World Series because they signed Will Smith, who's a back-to-back-to-back World Series champion. So
that's
book it right there. There you go.
that's
Royals,
yeah.
2024 World Series
Once
champs.
again, once again they had a really nice 2 year run, and then it just it just poofed into thing. So I'm just like, wow.
That's what happens with small markets. They can't pay everyone, and people want money.
But my thing is, they can, because if you have the team, people gonna show up.
Doesn't
There's
matter. It's not LA, New York, Boston.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's true. I mean, they have to hit on their draft picks a lot more. They have to develop a little bit more, because like I said they can't fail that way. Um, I like their second baseman, though, Bobby Witt Jr. I think he's a really good talent. I thought that's someone that the Red Sox should have went after this offseason. I think he's from the area as well. But that's on the podcast from today. But yeah, fans already are impatient because it's just like, okay, you sign. I figure they signed earlier to like a 1 year deal. But it's just like you basically it's Yamamoto or bust up here. That's what people are feeling like. It's like if you don't get that guy, then it's like what are we doing?
that's Mets fans right now too.
Yeah, and it's just like that. That to me is insane. Um, it was too much. It was too much. But hopefully they figure something out. I mean, once again, you got Cassis next year. I would talk to Justin Turner about coming back. He had a phenomenal season here in Boston. Phenomenal.
I think they don't want him. I don't think they.
And
He optioned out for a reason.
Well, I mean, because he wanted more money, but it's just like I just feel to me, um, but it's just like I don't know. I just to me they need to figure something out at the position. Unless I know they're bringing Rough Schneider back, who he's a really good role player. Um, but Story got to be healthy. He started to catch fire once he came back towards the second half of the year. But he's got to be healthy. Obviously, you know what you're getting in Devers. So Devers, Casa, Story is probably a 3, 4, 5. Duran, unless you trade him, is your leadoff guy. I'm trying to think. You got Wong. Connor Wong came on really strong last year, much better than I expected he would be. So, but you still you got Rich McGuire as the backup. So there's some guys there that played well last season, but they still need another bat or two, and then they should go get Montgomery too. If that's like, at least talk to him, to see if he wants to come there. I don't think they do 7 years because that's John Henry just doesn't do it anymore. Last guy he did it for was Price. Even though, like I said, once again, it resulted in the World Series, but a lot of issues after that. But if Montgomery wants 6 years, 150, once again, they gave that to Story. You give it to Montgomery. You need the pitching. You need it badly.
Yep.
So, but that's essentially it. But as far as you was asking who the next big free agent signing would be, I think it's probably Montgomery. I don't know where he goes, but I think he'll be the next domino to fall, and then you go from there.
I actually think it's gonna be Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger. I said it too on a Mets pod earlier today before we came on. And I feel like Cody Bellinger gonna get like 200 mil either from the Mariners or the Blue Jay. Like someone's just gonna overpay for this guy, and they're gonna wholeheartedly regret it. But it would be funny if he actually got signed to the Angels. I think that would be an interesting piece. You get rid of Ohtani for Cody Bellinger for 200 mil. So
yeah, I don't think Bellinger's worth 200 mil.
he's not, but someone's going to overpay for him because there's nothing. This free agency market is the best one compared to next year. But it's just I feel there's going to be a lot of overpay. It's like Blake Snell is definitely going to get overpaid. Montgomery's going to get overpaid just because people are freaking out with Yamamoto. And Yamamoto, it's looking like you got to get up 350 mil to get him, like in total with all the give the money over to the Japan League.
I mean, the same ownership group did it for Daisuke Masazaka, so I mean, That was also Theo heading the operations, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But something's got to give.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting winter meetings. Hopefully, when it ramps up more, we can do more baseball talk. But for right now, it's just kind of dead. But
Mm-hmm.
before we get into final words, again, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow Outside Sports on YouTube. We follow back for subscribers. And I'm going to put it on here for our final words as well. If you're listening to it on the ticker, you can follow us all on the bottom here: Instagram, TMS Podcast, TikTok, That's My Sports, Twitter, X _ TMS Podcast. We follow everybody that will follow us. We've been doing great so far.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I might as well just throw in some final words since I'm already talking about it. So I just appreciate everyone, on the channel is going to watch it later, that, comments, likes, subscribes, and all that. Appreciate all the followers on us for Twitter and X. If you ever see anything where it comes to post trolling, or if I join on other people's live streams, it is me with the questions. I appreciate everyone, in the spaces that I've been in with That's My Sports. I've recently, any baseball fans out there, you've probably seen it, but I just saw it the last 2 days. Facing Nolan, great on Netflix, about Nolan Ryan's history coming up in the majors. And then other one, it's like Say It Isn't So. It's about Yogi Berra. Didn't realize how great of a career he really had. I knew he did, but it seemed like he had a better career in a certain way than like Willie Mays and Stan Musial and all those kind of guys. So it's a pretty good documentary, actually, very interesting. But yeah, just appreciate everyone, and as always, Black people matter.
Yeah, I mean, I echo the same sentiment. Once again, keep showing that support. You guys have been awesome. 2023 has been a big year of growth for us, especially the second half of the year. So, I expect the momentum to carry right into 2024 and beyond. We are way past what many shows did in 2020. A lot of shows was like, oh, I'm doing this show, I'm doing that show, like, subscribe, or whatever. And 3 or 4 episodes in, they were gone. 3 years later, we're approaching the 200 episode mark, which is insane to even say. But it's a beautiful thing. And we want you to be a part of the next 200, because that means we'll probably be getting paid by then. So just being honest. So, once again, just continue to show the support. We love you all for that. And there's more to come. And as always, Black Lives Matter. We're not just when it's convenient for you. So for Hollywood Aaron Cass, I'm Hollywood Ray Sean Buchanan. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.